Coming to Kindle Unlimited this April, Esteemed Goddess of. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a demonic dominatrix in this all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Esteemed Goddess of on Kindle Unlimited or pick up the paperback today. I was looking at an article on Facebook where it stated that Nas's baby mama, Carmen Byran, is jobless and homeless and living on someone's sofa, all because rapper Nas cut off the child support checks since their daughter has turned 18 years old. And when I think about the amount of money that your Nas has given this woman, Carmen Byran, over the last 18 years, $8 million, she should not be homeless and she should not be living on anyone's sofa when she has been given over $8 million over 18 years. Now, living here in New York, yes, I know that it is expensive, but with $8 million over 18 years, your Carmen Byran should at least have some sort of condominium or co-op, and she should have had some economic assets built as related to wealth. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like your Carmen Byran was a good fiscal manager, and that's why she wound up completely broke, homeless, and living on someone's sofa, because this female was never taught anything about fiscal management or fiscal responsibility, and she was further enabled by the child support system, which allowed her to continue to get over $8 million from your Nas over the last 18 years and never held accountable for a single dime of it. Now, it is alleged that child support is supposed to be for the child, but I don't know when it comes down to this case, because it's clear to me that this baby mama didn't really do a good job of spending the money if your Nas decided to cut the family off at this point. Because when I look at the way she spent money, it's just mind-boggling, because, again, over $8 million in 18 years, any fiscally responsible woman, she would be able to use that child support money to not only buy a condominium to be in the child's name as a residence, one, two, be able to make sure that this child is going to a top quality private school, two, and three, be developing a trust fund for this child to have when they turn 18 years old or 21 years old, in order for them to care for themselves once they get to a later age. Moreover, they would also be able to structure a budget to calculate everyday expenses for that child, but it doesn't look like she did that, because it looks like she got caught up in the celebrity of Nas, and because she got caught up in the celebrity of Nas, she was thinking about living this big-time hip-hop lifestyle and probably spent most of the money that she got over the last 18 years in that $8 million on things like hair weaves, Air Jordan sneakers, nails, getting her nails done, and going out here and buying things like Gucci bags, Fendi bags, and Chanel whatever, because that's what a lot of these females do when they blow through $8 million in over 18 years, because they are not thinking about building a financial foundation for their child or developing a long-term financial plan that will help their child move forward. No, whenever they get child support, as I have seen when I would used to ride the Bronx 1 and Bronx 2 bus on the way to the 161st Street Yankee Stadium era, or when I would go to the Gateway Center and Target or the post office, usually I would hear these women bragging about how they were going to go out here and get this child support money, go out here and get their hair done, get their nails done, go out here and buy things like Gucci bags and iPhones, and they would blow all of that money because they did not have to work for it, nor did they have to earn it, and they felt entitled to the money, so that's why they did not develop a responsible plan on how to use that money to build anything. And that's how a woman like your Carmen Byran can wind up jobless, homeless, and completely poor after getting $8 million in child support because she felt that the money was going to go on forever. And this is something a lot of baby mamas believe, is that because the man is taking care of the child, they can just take that money and do whatever they please with it without ever coming up with a plan for not only taking care of the child or taking care of themselves. Now, a critical thinking woman, which is very rare out there, she would understand that once she has this child, she, one, has to develop an academic plan for her child, and two, she has to develop an economic plan for her child, and three, she has to develop a plan for herself once this child support ends, because this money is not going to go on forever. And your Carmen Byran, who blew through this money in 18 years, made no plan for her future, and that's why she is on somebody's sofa right now, and that's why she's broke right now, because any other person would have sat there and said, okay, I'm getting this child support, I need to go out here and develop some skills for myself, like going back to school, or I need to go get myself a skilled trade so that I have some foundation to land on once this whole child support thing ends. But when it comes down to many of these gold-digging females out there, their whole plan is to live off some entertainer's resources like Nas, and then possibly, if they can, monkey branch to another man. Unfortunately, I believe that this woman is now too old to monkey branch, and that's why she's migrating from sofa to sofa, because she has no skills to get a job, and she has no way to take care of herself, because she spent most of her time leeching off your entertainer Nas and looking to get money out of him, but never made an effort to develop anything out for herself. And this shows why we desperately need reform to our divorce laws, because our American divorce laws, they are archaic. They were designed for another era in American history, the era of the late 1960s and 1970s, when no-fault divorce was originally being implemented, and we had all of these former American housewives going out here and filing for divorce to get out of marriages from their husbands. Now, those women, they needed child support and spousal support back then because it was designed to maintain the middle-class lifestyle that both the wife had originally been used to and what the children had been used to. However, in our days of now third-wave feminism, where men and women are supposed to be on an equal playing field, I believe it's time for us to reform our divorce laws, because when it comes down to these women making these statements regarding their so-called lifestyle, that's something I believe that men, whether it be Nas or the average guy on the street who has a family that is being divorced, no longer needs to maintain. Because if this woman wants to be so-called strong and independent and says she does not need a man, then she does not need that man to maintain that lifestyle she is used to. If she wants to make a change to her lifestyle by divorcing this man, then she needs to be forced to adapt to having less money than she had before. And I believe that's where we need to have divorce law reform, because when it comes down to, again, to our divorce laws, they were designed for another era, and the child support laws were also designed for another era. The child support should be designed to be in proportion to what a child needs based on economics, and there also, as I see it, needs to be an itemized deduction as related to child support expenses. So all the expenses I see should be also itemized, because when you give a female like a Carmen Byran over $8 million over 18 years, and the female has absolutely no accountability for anything and is now to the point where she is homeless and has no place to stay. That shows that there's a big problem with our child support system, because we give these women money and they cannot be accountable for it, because $8 million, again, that type of money, if you gave it to me, I would probably have a lot of economic assets and would have turned that money into wealth over 18 years. And I could, again, as I talked about in this video, there were numerous things that your Carmen Byran could have turned this money into assets, and she could have built a wealth foundation for this child, but she didn't do that because she was never encouraged to do it by our gynocentric child support system, which thinks that the more money we give a child based on a person's lifestyle is about maintaining their lifestyle, but that doesn't really help these women learn how to be fiscally responsible, nor does it teach the children how to be fiscally responsible. And when I look at this whole situation, you have a female who had gotten over $8 million over 18 years, and she has nothing to show for it. It shows why we desperately need to have reform over these archaic divorce laws and these archaic and oppressive child support laws. If you'd like to help me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to learn more about why we have a divorce crisis here in America, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. The ISIS graphic novel Indiegogo is live. Help me publish the first comic book featuring the goddess next door by putting in a pledge today.